Hi, Rosie Picar here with the UDIFFER Strategies for Success. We've now moved on to the segment which is represented by the first F, and that F stands for focus. Our focus is going to be on our feelings. They're our indicators, or as is often termed, an emotional guidance system we have to let us know if we're in alignment with our wishes and our desires. Now, pure desire is always accompanied by positive emotion, positive anticipation, and positive expectation. If the emotion linked with whatever it is you want is negative, it's not desire, this is need. So those that are most in need have a strong, intense, negative desire. And this negative desire also indicates the belief in lack. And it's a negative cycle, it just is ongoing. So for example, if you are so ill, feeling so sick, barely able to move, the hardest thing for you to think right now is of joy, wellness and lightness. You are preoccupied with what you are currently observing. Now, being a deliberate director or a deliberate creator, a deliberate director directs their own thoughts from observance of what's going on to preference of what they would like to have or desire. That way, lack of wellness can become wellness. That way, lack of abundance can become abundance. This is the only way we are able to redirect from the state of lack or fear into a state of abundance and having when we currently do not have. Your reality is moldable, and even for those that believe there's a set in stone, there are chisels. And one of the chisels we're going to be focusing on is our feeling states in a workshop. Well, actually, it's not a workshop, it's really more of a play shop. And this is a powerful tool and exercise that you can spend 10 to 15 minutes each day deliberately setting forth your powerful thoughts, accompanied with some passionate communication, Rosie, together with passionate, positive emotion. That way you become a magnet for more of the same, because we are attracting all the time. We are magnetic all the time. We are never not. However, we keep intending, as you will have heard from the other segments, by what we put our attention on. Whatever we give attention to is what we are creating. So there's a difference. Like people have said to me, but Rosie, what if this is happening right in your life? What if your partner has left? What if you are bankrupt? What if you are told that you have cancer? What if you are feeling all these things? Well, right in that moment, what you are doing is observing your creation. It has already been created. There is no undoing that creation. However, you are continually creating. So now, in observance mode, together with imagination mode, your intending mode, is where your point of power lies. So together with this imagination, observing, we can direct our thoughts into seeing what we currently have in our current reality. There will be those things that you do want that you currently have. If you are focusing on what you don't want, now deliberately switch your thoughts to what you do have. The ability to see, the ability to smell, the ability to touch, to feel, to embrace, to communicate. Whatever gifts that you currently possess that we take for granted is the opportunity to direct your thoughts to those things until you start to get some positive feeling and some gratitude. This play shop, when you spend 10 to 15 minutes deliberately putting forth thoughts with emotions, needs to be done in a joyful state of mind. Now, joyful here doesn't mean that you're jumping up and down, screaming, wildly elated. If you are, that's fabulous. However, those of us that don't generally swing from manic to depressive all in one go, or depressive back to manic, we can go for that quiet, comfortable, contented. And you know, it's sort of the warm fuzzies we get when we look at one of our fluffy furry friends. Now, I'm not talking about your partner. I'm talking about Rover or your feline companion, or if you have a horse or other animal. When you look or receive a beautiful bunch of flowers, that feeling that you have on the inside, that genuine thanks, that graciousness, that calm, the beauty that you feel when you're near any large body of water, when you're watching animals in the wild, that awe, that reverence that you have. Whether it's looking at old photographs, memories from the past that are joyful memories that bring back a twinkle in your eye and a bit of a smirk. It can be listening to uplifting music. Whatever it is for you that puts you into a state that is just nice. I'll use that term nice in the positive context. So once you put yourself in that state, we now go into our play shop. And what our play shop is whatever we have observed that we desire. And that desire is unique to each and every individual. You know, a desire for one person, one of my friends wanted their boat. Now for me, a boat is the last thing I want. For someone else, it can be a particular type of car. For another person, they may hate that type of car. Or, you know, theirs might be a holiday, whereas for me, a holiday is being able to stay at home instead of travelling to exotic locations. It is unique to yourself, whatever your desires are. And you have that desire because you also have the potential within yourself to fulfill that desire. So now when we go into our play shop, pick a time and space when you're not going to be interrupted by other people. I want you to start to focus on the things that you've either had in your past, so you're remembering, things you've observed throughout that entire day that's just gone before you, or something you've made up that you've imagined either from movies, from whatever you've used as fuel or incentive to get the idea. However, I want you to feel what it would be like now seeing yourself in having any of these desires. If it is being healthy, fit, happy, abundant, see yourself moving through a normal day from waking up, feeling your body, your hands running over it, being so grateful for how it feels. If this is too much of a leap for you, just start with waking up and being grateful that, you can put your feet down on the ground and actually get up out of bed and feel lighter than you normally do. Move on to see yourself flowing through the day, completing what it is you normally do effortlessly. See yourself doing it happily, that you're laughing constantly. This is utilising your imagination to create these states. Now, words, we've all heard of affirmations, positive statements that we use in the present tense to create what it is what we want. There is not a huge level of attracting power from words alone, unless you are repeating them over and over and over and over and over. And they say it takes about 2,200 thoughts to create a habit, or roughly 21 days. That's habitually repeating just those thoughts. Now that certainly is a start point if you're at the very bottom level of feeling. If you're at that depressed or apathetic phase, repeating positive words such as health, love, power, energy, vibrancy, excitement, enthusiasm, joy will certainly start to shift your vibration or your energy pattern. However, it's not going to be manifested the very next day that you're going to be waking up and going, yeehaw, I feel tremendous. I can tell you when I originally went through my separation that I was probably at the lowest level I can recall for quite a lengthy period of my life to that point. I had not long before lost my mother, and for me that was one of the most impactful losses to death that I'd had in my life. And I had also gone through several traumatic incidents within the police force as well. Seeing some sides of humanity that I wasn't able to understand or qualify or get any bearing with. I didn't have the tools for it. I didn't have the life experience for it. And then coping with my then husband's state of being, or my focus on what I called our problems. And I kept my focus on them, irrespective of what he did. I attracted this relationship. I was a co-creator in this dynamic. And at the time, I wallowed in this dynamic. As much as I hate to admit that, that is the truth. I ran it over and over in my mind. I ran continually how I felt bad and how I had every reason to feel bad. Now, this created a state over a period of time that was total apathy, that I had no worth or value for myself. I felt I was unlovable. At that time, I had the good fortune. Have always been an avid reader, an avid researcher, an avid learner of all things, spiritual, metaphysical, empowering. And at the time, I discovered this process of understanding that every word we speak carries an energy vibration. Not only does it release chemicals within our own physical system, it also impacts us energetically. And for those that don't believe in energy, I mean, I've got no doubt you don't believe in radio waves or microwaves or anything else you can't see either. However, I doubt that you would be involved or listening in this program if that were the case. So understanding that our energy is impacted by the words that we do speak, it's the energy those words carry. So everyone that speaks of love, everyone that speaks of joy, everyone that speaks of power, everyone that speaks of integrity, everyone that speaks of beauty, of synergy, of harmony, all these words carry the vibration of that exact state. The same as when we speak the words of depression, apathy, hate, pain, suffering, indignity. They also carry a set vibration that matches the words. So I learnt at that time that if I simply kept saying the words over and over of the states I desired, it would impact on me physically. It would manifest in my reality. So for many, many weeks, and I honestly cannot recall what the length of time was from when I decided, okay, if I can't think positively, if I can't get my brain, I'm too challenged to be able to feel any good because I feel lousy. And hey, let's face it, sometimes we want to stay feeling lousy and we can't see a light at the end of the tunnel. I remember riding my bike around the streets of town and I was saying these phrases over and over in my head, or these words, these statements: love, beauty, happiness, joy, power, love, beauty, happiness, joy, power. I was just saying them over and over. However, my tone was probably more like love, happiness, joy, beauty. I can honestly say I did not feel any of the states. However, I persisted and I simply believe that at least I wasn't introducing more negatives in. I was minimising the damage I was doing to myself energetically. Somewhere along the line, snap, there was a change. I was riding along on my push bike and all of a sudden I was going, love, joy, happiness, well-being, excitement, passion. And I was feeling it. I was getting excited. I was happy. I was laughing. And I actually thought, right, Rose, you've finally gone nuts. The reality was, I had finally made the shift. I was finally now able to get back in alignment with my inner self. I'd finally started to recognise there was some worth in me, there was some value in me, and I've since gone on to prove that to myself. So we build bridges of belief from what you don't want over to what you do, and how you build these bridges is by your focus and your focus on your feelings. So when you're feeling any of those negative qualities, and we all know what those negative qualities are, they range from boredom, unhappiness, anger, stress, sadness. All of those feelings are magnetic to create more of the same, to attract in more of the same. When we feel these feelings, it's not an indicator to just ignore these feelings. They're there for a reason. They're there to let us know that what we're doing or what we're thinking in that moment is not in alignment with what our true desires are. So if my desire is to be happy, but in that moment I'm feeling sad, I can look at what my thoughts are, and my thoughts might be along the lines of, I feel abandoned, no one is paying attention to me. That's one simple example. There can be a billion others. We're each unique for every unique situation and moment. But if you identify it in the moment, you can rectify it. So you can then choose to focus by turning this around, by building that bridge. You can think, okay, I feel abandoned in the moment. However, there are other people present. There are people I can connect with. I think there are many moments in my life that there have been lots of people I can connect with. So therefore, I'm rarely ever abandoned. In actual fact, I'm never alone. I always have company. I always have good company. See how you start talking yourself into seeing a new perspective, and then when you see that new perspective, your feeling automatically changes. I'm going to give you some examples now of some thoughts or affirmations, words you can use to enhance your well-being before going into your play shop. Now, these have come again from the Abraham material, as I value this material so intensely. Shared directly from Abraham, these are the words exactly. In respect of health, an affirmation, a bridge to build to go from what you don't want to what you do. I want perfect health. I like feeling good. I enjoy my good feeling body. I have many positive memories of feeling good in my body. I see many people who are clearly in a state of good health, and it is easy to see how much they are enjoying their good feeling bodies. When I think thoughts like these, I feel good. These thoughts are in harmony with a healthy body. So some thoughts for financial prosperity. I want financial prosperity. There are so many wonderful things that are readily available in this wonderful world, and financial prosperity opens the door to so many of those things. Since the law of attraction responds to my thoughts, I have decided to focus predominantly upon the abundance that is possible, understanding that it is only a matter of time before my thoughts of prosperity will be matched by the flow of financial prosperity. Since the law of attraction will bring me the subject or object of my attention, I choose abundance. And for the trifecta, we've covered health, we've covered prosperity, let's cover relationships. I want great relationships. I so enjoy nice, clever, funny, energetic, stimulating people. And I'll add in not to mention butt kickers. And I love knowing that this planet is abundant with them. I have met so many interesting people, and I love the discovery of fascinating characteristics in the people I meet. It seems that the more I enjoy people, the more people whom I enjoy come into my experience. I love this time of spectacular co-creation. So understand that we are continually expanding, continually growing, and as we observe what it is we don't want, we develop the clarity of what it is that we do want. We use our focus and attention on our feelings to become clearer as to whether we are in alignment with our desires or not. Now, understanding that kick butt is about accepting no cop-outs, no excuses, or no buts in order to get what you want. This law works all of the time, not some of the time. And since expansion is inevitable, I choose to have all of this expansion now in joy. Now remember, there are lots of people you can observe on this planet and see that they may have some of the things that you do desire. For example, Christopher Skase had a lot of wealth. However, he didn't have health. Paris Hilton, we can see, has a lot of wealth. However, not freedom, since she's going to prison. Anna Nicole Smith, again, a lot of wealth, but not happiness. And you can observe these people, and in observing, take from that observation what it is that you do want into your play shop. So you can have the wealth. It doesn't mean you need to have ill health to go along with it. You can have the wealth. It doesn't mean in having wealth means that you lose your freedom. In having wealth, it does not mean you lose your happiness. So understand there are some old beliefs we have running inside us, and this can introduce an inconsistency or a feel-bad state. For example, we may have a belief that when we get something, it means someone else has to do without. Or that when we get something, that means we're going to lose out somewhere else. Once these beliefs are identified, and they're identified via our feelings, we can then work with them in our play shop to create those bridges and accept realities that your mind can start to believe. Make this fun, make it light, observe the feeling state. If it doesn't feel good, it's letting you know, hey, there's too big a belief here and you're just not crossing it. We're all individuals, and our feelings will be our indicators to let us know how we're going in creating our new realities. So until next time, keep your focus and your attention on your feelings. It's not to beat yourself up, going, man, I screwed that up yet again. It's more to have, I liken myself to being an entertainer, that as I also learn, I do a lot of laughing because the material comes from my own life. So you too, if you've done what you would term as screwed up or haven't got it again, have a laugh at it and have another go. I mean, that's what we're all here for after all. In the meantime, I bless you all again. and look forward to our next chat.